Okay, hi, welcome back. I hope you have written a nice general statement and thesis statement. Okay, so now let's check whether you're doing it correctly or not. All right. Okay, so these are the, sorry. Okay, so these are the don'ts, okay, in a thesis statement. One, you should not make it too broad. All right, if you look at the examples given in a textbook, some of them are too broad. So not every example in your textbooks are good, actually, to be honest. It's okay. As long as we know not to follow those examples. Okay, so it shouldn't be too broad or too vague. So what I meant by too broad, okay, there are many advantages of exercising, like that's it. Okay, what are you going to talk about? We don't know, right? So instead of saying like that, you should do this. There are many advantages of exercising, which include one, controlling weight, two, preventing diseases, and three, releasing stress. So now we know, okay, what you meant by advantages. So we know you're going to describe, explain these 3 points. Okay, so it shouldn't be too vague. Like Malaysia is a good country, so good for what? Okay, so you should say Malaysia is a good country to live in because it's because of its beautiful nature, low cost of living, and racial harmony. So I know that in your body paragraphs, we'll talk about these 3 things. Okay, so now please check you can go and check your thesis statement. Are you doing these mistakes? If you're doing this mistake, please correct them. Okay, moving on. So now let's look at a few more examples to make it clearer. Okay, one is on page 343 in your textbook. So please open your textbook and highlight it together with me. All right, so the one that I highlighted in yellow is the general statement. Okay, so the question is, it better for the elderly to live in a nursing home? So this is like a discursive essay. So you, instead of saying yes, it's better, no, it's not better, you start with talking about something general. The situation nowadays, it's difficult to take care of our grandparents, right? Because we are working, and then people nowadays do not have many kids, so not one young people can have to take care of two to four elderly. So and then we have to work. So the author is giving you the situation nowadays instead of talking about nursing home. All right, and then the author move on to something more specific to answer this question. So this is the thesis statement. All right, to relieve this pressure, placing the elderly in nursing home seems a viable alternative because, okay, one, availability of professional medical care, two, suitable environment, and three, community in such homes. Okay, if you look at your textbook, the one in purple is not there. Okay, that's why I said not every examples in the textbook is good. So I added this because if you look at the third body paragraph in your textbook, it actually mentioned this, right? Okay, I mean mention this point. So please correct, please edit there yourself, and please highlight this using different color, or you can underline them. All right. So this, but apart from that, I think it's a very good introduction, except that it missed the third point. Okay, moving on. All right, on page 208, you can go on page 208 together with me. All right. Uh, so the question is, this question we discussed just now, right? Should students spend less time on music? All right, so the author start with something general, okay, the situation nowadays. And then the author mentioned the 3 points, okay? Students should spend less time listening to music because music, one, helps to really, I mean, students should spend less, should not, okay, because he disagree. Okay, the author disagrees. The author disagrees with the question, okay, with the statement, I mean. Okay, one, because music can release stress, music can stimulate the mind, and music can enhance learning. So please bear in mind that for an argumentative essay, you have to state your stand clearly. Do you agree or do you disagree? Okay, because it's argumentative, where you have to take a stand. But what if you're neutral? Okay, um, so let's move. Let's move on to the next page. Okay. sorry, there's no next page. Move on. Okay, page 20. Sorry. Okay, here. If you are neutral, you present both sides of the argument. Okay, you say this. While I agree that spending too much time on music can distract students from their study, I disagree because that students should spend less time listening to music because it can relieve stress and it can stimulate the mind. So in your first body paragraph, you talk about how listening to too much music can distract students from their studies. And then, but then in your second body paragraph, you can say, oh, however, music is also good. It can relieve stress. Okay, so the word "however" is important there. Okay, we'll learn more about that when we study body paragraph. But yeah, if you're neutral, you have to state it like this. Okay. Moving on to the next example. All right, page 209. So go to page 09 together with me and highlight it. So the question asks you on is this a problem solving question, how to solve environmental issues, right? Okay, so the first statement there is general. So the planet faces many troubling environmental issues that stem from human activity. It's just a fact, right? And then in the one highlighted in blue, those are the reasons why we should solve this problem. Okay, because climate change, the natural resources has dwindled of resources faster than imagined, and so on. Uh, right, so these are the reasons why we should solve this problem. So for a problem solving essay, you have to include this in the reasons why we need to solve it. And then again, let's look at the thesis statement. It mentioned the 3 points there, right? To improve the state of the environment, we need to have sustainable development, mindful consumption, and stricter laws. So from this, I haven't read the whole essay, but I know. In the body paragraph, the first one will talk about sustainable development. Second body paragraph will talk about mindful consumption, and the third body paragraph will talk about stricter laws. So now we learn this. Why don't we try them? Okay, so all right, I hope that our lesson today will help you to answer the next question, the next task.